still holding the camera for this one, so it's gonna be a little bit shaky. But hello, my name is Ian, and welcome back to A Year and a Day, my Arthurian quest to right the wrongs of my past and rise up like a phoenix from the ashes. Today was a very interesting day. I found out I've got another job offer, and this one's for one that I actually really wanted. It's to be a contract DM for a company that specializes in after-school D&D sessions for kids of members of the LGBTQIA plus community and those who suffer from neurodivergent things. I don't want to say disabilities, but I guess they are. But it's something that I'm really excited to try and into. I almost missed the message because I got sent to my Indeed, and then I just didn't see it because I was like, well, I got a job now, no more need to look at this. But if I get this job, not more money, but I get to do something that I love to do, which is tell stories and do D&D, and I get to help out kids, and honestly, that's great. Helping out kids, especially kids like me, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do. Tried to build a shelf today. It was supposed to be a bookshelf, but the box literally said, this is a shelf for DVDs, CDs, and other stuff, I guess. Nothing to do with books. That shelf is as shoddy as a cardboard box, and it's probably made of pretty much the same material. Okay, technically, yes, it is, because they're both made of trees, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Said, you know what I mean. I'm a bit all over the place, cause I had some Chick-fil-A before working back home, and I'm filled with a vanilla milkshake and a Coca-Cola medium size, and so I'm jittery and trying to get myself to fall asleep before the night goes out. And this tangent's gone on for a lot. Anyway, back to the shelf. So found out these two little pieces, inconsequential really, that I don't know, just helped stabilized one of the shelves there, and looks like the instructions didn't mention those in the little number things, but it was in the picture, but you didn't put it in the amount that you needed, and so you put them in, and then they're not there, and now I gotta take out the whole thing, and I had to leave my manager there, and she was just sitting on the floor, ripping it apart with a hammer, because I had a nail in the back, and oh gosh, this felt terrible, and she let me go. She means well, even though she's very much, you can tell that she's stressed out, she's frazzled. She really wants to get this business to work, because there's just a lot to do. Did some more walking. Walking's good, walking's great. Just walking around the Christmas tree on a happy holiday. I wonder if this all works out, and I start collecting collecting my money, from pay from the various jobs, could I, finance something of myself? Could I finance a doctor's appointment to get myself checked out? Could I finance a voice project? Because I got these ideas for like animated pilots, but I'm not an animator, and I can't pay to animate. What I can do is I can essentially, it's like one of those story podcasts. I just make a story podcast, and someone else will animate it for me, free of charge. And I say free of charge but that relies on if I make a good story and if it gets out there and if it delights the fan base. And if I don't do that, then I'm just putting it out into the void. It's not even like art for no one, one of Jacob Geller's videos, art for no one. Because it is for someone. It's for you. It's for everybody. But just no one sees it. If an artist makes a work of art and throws it out onto the internet, but nobody sees it, is it still worthwhile? Is it still worth it to be art? Now, I know that's a crazy thought to have, but art, I feel like art has to mean something to the artist. Because you can make art for your own sake, you can make art for people's sake, but it's still got to have an intention behind it. It has to mean something, it has to represent something. I think back to the Dadaists and the Surrealists and the kind of the protest artists who would destroy their entire work or just throw together a random collage of junk and call it art, and it's supposed to mean something by meaning nothing, but yet it still means something. But that's because someone is there to give it meaning. If nobody's there to give it meaning, is it still art? When does art stop being art? Because my mind's spiraling now. I think of buildings. Are buildings art? I mean, sometimes, yes, they are. Or they have artistic streets to them because of the architectural designs. But other times they're just these, but also they're not art because that's not their intent. That's not the intention of the building. The intention of the building is to host items or people. It's not meant to be it's not intended to make you think. The building is there to serve its purpose of being shelter. You can decorate a building with art, and that's how you get museums. Museums aren't art, but sometimes they are art because, again, the design. I'm mad rambling now. Okay. Is this art? I make these videos, right? And I make them for myself, and I make them for you. It's a specific you. Because just to show that I am working, that I am trying to make myself better, that I am doing what I should be doing. But nobody's here. Nobody's watching. I think I got one view, and I'm not even sure if that was my own view. If I make something, I always feel like I have to be, if when I make something and I put it out there, I need people to see it, because it makes me feel validated in my pursuits, in my work, in my passions, in my dreams, in my hopes. Because if I put so much of myself into these things, and I present them, and all I'm met with is nothing, and what was it for? Was it for myself? It doesn't feel like that, you know? It feels like, it feels frustrating. And sometimes I use my art to vent my frustrations, but then I hope that someone will see it, someone will relate it and say, you know what? I could connect with this. I think you're doing well. I think what you do matters. Because that's the crux of it, ain't it? Art matters. And if what I'm doing doesn't matter, then what's the point? I used to call myself a Christian absurdist. A person who accepts the sheer everything of the universe and laughs in the face of it, choosing to make my own meaning, make my own destiny. And just still following, these ideas and the moralities and the teachings of Christianity, the Bible. But nowadays, I don't know. I don't know if I believe in God specifically, or just in a higher power, that there's someone out there who made everything, who still tips the scales sometimes, moves a thing or two. Because there's some crazy coincidences out there, It's crazy that. But part of the reason why I feel I've lost the faith is either just a lack of dedication, but also with my own preference, me being bisexual. The people who are supposed to love and support me the most, they don't. There's like a barrier now between me and them, and I know they say they will love me as their son, but how can they do that when they have that part of themselves that hates me, hates what I am, think that this is a choice or a phase? Is art worth it? I think so. I think everyone should make art. Art is one of the truest expressions of the self that we can reach. For me, it's the one way, it's like the one way that I can see past every little mask and barrier that I've put over myself, that I've used to disguise and to kind of trick myself into thinking I'm something else that I'm not, or that I am. And it just gets to the rawest version of me. I was often think of them as just, they're silent. They don't need to speak. They just play a beautiful song, wondrous in some ways, and it wraps you up, and you feel so comforted, and you're taken away into a lovely dream. Apologies for being so deep these past few episodes. I think we're getting to a point where there's a lot that I'm having to grapple with all at once that I keep choosing not to grapple with, and so it just sits there, and I sit there, and I look at the sunset, and I just, the sunset's beautiful, isn't it? Like, it just does that. The clouds and the bright oranges and pinks and reds all swirling together, and it's the most beautiful piece of art that doesn't last. But it's not art, because that's not its intention. But we still give it meaning. I've got a clock. It was a birthday gift from my grandfather. Every hour, it makes a chime. It's a little tiny ditty. This time it's My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, famously used in the movie Titanic. I've already hit my iceberg. The ship is sinking. Now I'm just trying to survive and see the next, get on the rescue boat. Gosh, I gotta stop being so heavy. I get like this at night, you know? I get so dour about myself because it's so quiet and there's less distractions and it's just you and me. It's just you and me. I think I'm gonna save up some money to buy a Lego. They got this new Lego set called Lego Jedi Bob. It was this old minifigure. Greatest Jedi, one of the greatest Jedis to ever live in the Lego universe. What kind of tangent am I pulling here? Lego's so cool. This is not a sponsorship for Lego. Oh gosh. I don't think I'd want to get sponsored on these things. You know, if even one person makes it all the way through this journey with me, then I would be happy that you came along. I gotta remind myself, this is for me. This is really and truly for me. I'm the one who chose to do this whole video log series. And I gotta make the commitment, and I gotta stand by it. So thank you so much for watching. This has been A Year and a Day, number 8. And yes, take care, and good night.